Hi Stampers, it's Nancy Novak from stampandshout.com. Welcome to my YouTube Live. And today I want to make a quick and easy card. It's springtime and it's perfect time to send flowery cards. So I thought we would make this card today. And I used the Timeless Tulips stamps. Now this does come with a punch, but I'm actually going to use the Dragonfly Garden punch, and I'm going to punch out that dragonfly, as you can see right there. But I do want to mention that if you are interested in the Timeless Tulip stamp and you want the punch that goes with it, right now before May 3rd you can still get it as a bundle, which means you can save 10% on both of them. Otherwise, when the new catalog comes out, you can buy them each separately. And the Dragonfly Garden stamp set and punch will also be in the new annual catalog. But of course, grab them now and you can save the 10%. So this is really a fun card to make because it has a lot of stamping in it. So for those of you who like to stamp, me, this is a great card, right? So let me bring in the supplies. Okay, I made mine using an olive garden cardstock, which is 11 inches by 4 1/4, and I scored it at 5 1/2. So it's going to open like that. And then I have two pieces of white, one for the front for stamping and one for inside, and those are both 5 1/4 by 4 inches, and that's it. I am going to use an embossing folder, and we'll get to that in a minute. But let's go ahead and start stamping. So let me bring in. First thing I did was I stamped the stems and everything, but I'm going to change this up and I'm going to use a different sentiment. So I am going to start right off by stamping the sentiment in the top left corner, just to make sure when I start stamping my flowers that I space everything correctly and I don't overlap anything. I did post a free PDF on how to make this card in my newsletter, which just went out this morning. So I try to, every week I put out a newsletter and I have a free PDF in there. So this is the card that was in my newsletter today, and I thought I would just pop in and also do a video. So like I said, I'm going to change the sentiment up on this card, and I'm going to stamp the sentiment first in the upper left hand corner. So it says, "May good things grow all year long." And I'm going to make this into a birthday card. So inside, when we get to that, I'm going to stamp "Happy Birthday." And this sentiment is from the Dragonfly Garden. So I'm kind of mixing it up here. I'm going to use the flowers and the leaves and the petals from the Timeless Tulips, and then I'm going to use the Dragonfly and the sentiment from the Dragonfly stamp. But the sentiments in this Timeless Tulip are great because they're very versatile. You got Happy Mother's Day, Get Well Soon, Happy Birthday, just a plain old hello. So very versatile stamp set. And I will have all the information for the supplies that I used linked below this video when I get all done. So bringing in my old olive. Now this is the same color as my card base. And I'm just going to go ahead and ink this up. I'm just going to ink the top part of this up because I'm only going to use the part of the stem. I'm not using the whole stem. And I'm just going to kind of go here and there, knowing that I'm going to put a flower on the top of this. So I'm just going to leave a little bit of space here and there. So just kind of wing it. So I hope you are subscribed to my YouTube channel and that you click that little bell. That lets you know whenever I'm doing a live video. Let's see, we'll just try it right. We're going to go this way, make it a little bit different. We'll start with that and see how we do. The next thing I did was a few of the flowers, and I did mine in Highland Heather and Daffodil Delight. So just pick out whatever favorite tulip color you like and start stamping. So I think I'll do, and you can kind of overlap these two. Don't worry about the color not showing through. It works pretty well. So I think I'm going to do a nice Daffodil Delight right here. Oh, that's pretty. Pretty, pretty. And let's see where else. I think I'll do one right here. And you can kind of go off the card too. It doesn't have to be perfect. We don't want everything real symmetrical and even. Just kind of do whatever. I think I'm going to put one here. So I'm going to put another little stem there. And let's see, let me clean this stamp off. I'm going to bring in my little chamois and clean that off. Whoop, dry it a little bit. And I think I'll do a big Highland Heather flower up here. And I'm going to have a dragonfly there, but let me clean this off too. This is, got my little chamois off to the side here. All right, I think I'll do a little Highland Heather one there. Okay, doesn't look like much yet, but let's bring in the old olive again. And I'm going to find my leaf. Here's my leaf stamps here somewhere. Here it is. I'll bring that leaf stamp in and stamp a few leaves and then see where I go from there. Pretty. So see, coming all together, isn't it? So if you have friends that you think might want to see this card, you can go ahead and share this video too. And I was going to put one more stem right there, just a little bit of a stem right for this little flower. Yep. And let's see. I think I'm going to put I think that's all I want. I think that's, well, I think I'm going to put one here. Let me make sure I have ink here. Go put one right there. Isn't that cool? I mean, the leaf really fills in any spaces, so start off slow with a few stems, add a few flowers, and just go from there. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run this through an embossing folder. So it's very, very pretty like that. Let me show you with the card base. So that's really pretty, and you could just be done with it. But I always like to emboss, so let me run it through the embossing folder, which I just had here a second ago. Okay, I just had it in my hand. Hang on. Live. All right, well, let me get my other embossing folder. And I think I will use... You guys gotta wait a second. I have to find it. It was so silly. I just reached over. Oh, no, that's not it. That is so strange. I can't find my embossing folder. All right, I'm going to have to pick a new embossing folder. Let's see. Which one? It's got to be something very subtle. Very subtle. I guess that means I'm going to use... I'm going to use this painted one. The painted textures. Let me see what that's going to look like. Oh yeah, that's going to be pretty. Okay, the Painted Textures embossing folder. So I want to make sure that Stampin' Up! Is on the front because that's the top. So that's the way I want my embossing folder to go through my machine. So hang on and we'll be right back. And I just found my other one, but I'm glad because I think I do want the Painted Textures. That's silly. It's right there, my other one. So that was Timeless Textures, or no, it was Tasteful Textures. But oh, I do like this a lot. This is the Painted Texture embossing folder. So that's pretty. But next we have to do our Dragonfly. So I have a scrap and I'm going to bring in my Memento black ink and I'm going to bring in my Dragonfly. They have a couple different Dragonflies you can do. This one has the base already filled in, but I'm going to use the one that's kind of hollowed out that we can color in ourselves. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this up in black. And then I'm going to color him in with Stampin' Blends. And again, I'm going to use the Highland Heather and the Daffodil Delight. So I wanted to mention though that if you don't want to color in the Dragonfly, it does have a little stamp here that you can just ink up and stamp on and color it in that way. So let's see here. This is the Highland Heather, and I think I'll just do a little bit of Highland Heather right here and right here, and then maybe this whole section down here and right here. And then I think I'll give a little bit of color. Let me turn this over to get the smaller tip. And I think I'll color in these the body part, just every other one, just to give it a lot of interest and depth. Then let's bring in the Daffodil Delight, and we'll color in the body and the rest of the leaf, or the rest of his wings, with the Daffodil Delight. And we're going to have a dragonfly that matches our tulips. And we can do that because it's our card and we're making it. Isn't that pretty? So now I'm going to bring in the punch. This actually punches out a little baby dragonfly and a regular dragonfly. So I'm just going to fit this in and line it up. A little bit. I got to cut a little bit off to make it fit into the punch, like that. And then we can line it up. Punch it out. Bring back in our card front, and we're going to lay him right there with some dimensionals. We're going to pop him up. Oh, he's so pretty. So put one there and one there. And let's see here. I think I'll cut a little tiny piece for the end of his tail. Whoops. Let me show you what I'm doing here. I'm just going to put a little piece of a dimensional right on his tail. If I can get it off my finger. There we go. So that'll just give it a little bit more support on our card, so it won't be flopping around there. So I just cut down a dimensional to fit. Okay, so here we go. There's our card. Let me put it right here so you can see it just a little bit better. So it's going to go there, and we're going to just lay our dragonfly right there. Oh, that's so pretty. Love it. Love it, love it. Okay, so let's glue this to the front of our card, and then we'll stamp our sentiment for the inside. front of our card. I'm actually happy that I couldn't find that first embossing folder, because the painted texture one is very, very, very pretty with this, with the tulips. Okay, so let's see, inside. Bring in our stamping piece. And let's see, my happy birthday, which is the happy birthday from the Timeless Tulips. And I'll bring in the memento. And stamp happy birthday. Ooh, pretty font. That is really, really pretty font on there. See that? Gorgeous. Because I thought I was going to do a little stamping on the inside, but I think that's very, very pretty. I like that, just like that. See, the simplest things can sometimes just be all you need, right? So let's glue this in. Again, I will have the supplies that I used listed down below, and if you're interested, I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, so you can shop with me, and you can leave any comments here and ask any questions, and I will be sure to answer them. So there you go. Let's get this out of the way here. So it says, "Make good things grow all year long," and then happy birthday. So I hope you like the card. Again, I will have information down below. You can also visit my blog, www.stampinshout.com, and